Hello there. I'm in a better mood than last time, but that's not saying much, so let us see what's going on here. Okay, so obviously I know Mavis is dead, so first thing I'm gonna do is, so Michael, to peel back the curtain, messaged me that there's a Mon in hell that's not supposed to be in hell. So I could guess that it must be the Escavalier. Would be my assumption, because it was just caught at the guidance chamber, so I'm gonna assume that's the case, and if I'm wrong, then Michael can sort that out. But obviously he made a point to message me, so yeah, that was the case, right? So we have Pinocchio, Bolin, Lonus, Sokka, Pentad, which, if I remember correctly, were all in the party last time that I had the file. But the last time I had the file, I also like put stuff in that wasn't like all that highly leveled, so they could have easily just trained up other stuff. I have not gotten to the episode after my last episode yet, obviously. So, or well, not obviously, I guess, because I haven't gotten to the episode after my massacre, right? But no, so yeah, no, okay, I'm just confusing myself. So, technically, what I was meaning to say is I've watched up to episode 20, I think it was, like, which is where I got fucking destroyed in Reversal Map. Because I have not published 23 being my last one, so I wouldn't have seen after it, obviously. But yeah, either way. We have some new Mons in here, obviously. I can see, obviously, Seaside Cave, Route 14, Guidance Chamber, which I will check off Route 14 for Michael, I'm assuming, because it's always Michael that doesn't check off the sheet, so, you know, in fairness to him, by the time I'm recording this, he hasn't seen my rant about him not updating the doc. And it's not even a rant, it's just a small little, not happy with him situation. So yeah, so we have 5 Mons trained up, but then we don't have a 6th, is basically what I'm seeing, right? Because these 3 all died in the last episode or 2 episodes ago that I had. Then, I believe Woos was dead already by the time that I got it back for my last one. So, I want to say that Fungi is the new one that's dead, which it finally has different moves, and it died. Funny, as Michael had been complaining the whole time. But yeah, so we need another Mon, obviously, in the party. And for that, also we're in Driftveil, is what I believe I noticed. So, if I'm thinking of what Mon we could use here. We know everything is Fire Flame, so that kind of makes this less desirable. Obviously, I got blown back by high jump kicks and focus blast, so that's always top of mind for me right now. As I just watched that, or rewatched it, I guess, or just watched it, not rewatched it, because I lived it the first time. for the sake of what's it called? Doing stats. But whatever. I'll just do this. I'll do Yanmega. Because it's a fighting resist. That's top of mind. And since we're already in Driftvale, I'll just say yes because we have 1 million. We have infinite money. When does it get ancient power? Fuck me. I don't know when it... So it's... I thought he had to relearn it. I guess I remembered wrong. Well, next business order, I believe the EXP share is dead. If I'm remembering correctly. So... we don't have any XP share anymore. Yep. Okay. I mean, I'll double check on here, but I'm pretty confident that... yeah. So now, whatever we train has to get switch trained. Which is not ideal. Just means that we will do so. And oh my god, because it's low level, the repel doesn't do anything currently. Sick. I did not consider that. It doesn't have Thunder Punch, which is funny. So this one has Psyshock though, right? Yeah, because most of our shit has Psyshock. Well, yeah, I have zero intention of doing anything but training. That's, in case that wasn't clear. So, yeah, strap in for some training. Cause that's all that's gonna happen on this one. But I'll try to talk more than last time, that's for sure. I thought about just like, should I just go silent again and just like not talk again, but that would be mean. That would be mean. So I won't do that. But I wouldn't mind doing that if I'm being honest, because like, again, I'm literally just gonna. This is just gonna be the whole episode. There is nothing else I'm gonna be doing. And it's just gonna take longer because I can't EXP share. So I have to switch train. And we don't have an Eviolite in the meantime, so until Yanmega, there's nothing for me to do here. Other than just exactly this. Case, what can I bring up, since obviously nothing's gonna be going on the screen. I'll have to ponder. some ways to keep us all engaged here. Because I think that realistically you could probably just skip this until the end and just look at the levels like at the end or something. But if you don't want to do that for whatever reason, which again I would actually probably suggest doing it, but hey, if you want to listen to me drone on, by all means, I will filibuster and just keep on coming up with random shit as much as I can in the meantime. Such as, I do know that the other breeder, both of them fought the breeder blind, which is like similar to this one. The breeder that's on, I think it's Route 7, the one that's near the Skyla's gym. That one has an LGM and what was it? Pillow swine. So it's objectively not as good as this one, and I would argue this is safer. Is it? Well, I guess the other one would be safer because it's probably like there's less chance that they would ever do too much damage, right? But I mean, this is somewhat safe in the sense that it's a known quantity. But in fairness, if you fight the other one enough, that could just be a known quantity as well. So I mean, I know that it has Sacred Fire, for example, right on the Shaman is the surprise move. That's good to know, but we all know that by now since we've all fought this trainer a decent amount by now.
Hi, I'm accident attorney
Kevin.
Nope,
Crockett. Kevin.
If you've been injured in an accident, you have a lot of questions. Do I have a claim?
I was injured in an accident a couple episodes ago, but that is no longer the case. So I think that you should fuck off. I think is actually what I'm gonna go with. But yeah, so I know I can't switch in Pinocchio on the Shaman, so it's nice. But again, I could just learn that stuff for the other. But I think this gets us more experience. So I don't see a reason to do the other. So as far as I'm aware, this is the dedicated grinding spot, and there isn't a better one that I'm aware of currently. So maybe there is a better one, but that's something that I do not know about. So we will just do it from the safety of over here. But also, there's a good chance I'm wasting my time because what if we can't reach a condition of Young Mega Ball? I'm trying to think, is that even possible? I'd imagine no, because I could be remembering it wrong is the main thing, right? Which that part is very true. That's still very possible. Maybe it's not ancient power and it's a different move for all I know, right? Or I just know it's a special evolution because all the ones they added in Gen 4 to the Gen 2 Mons pretty much were that way, where they had a special condition. And usually I thought ancient power was a relearn thing. I think that's the case for Pillow Swine going to Mammo Swine. But again, maybe I've got all this mixed up and incorrect for all I know. And I could look it up, but I don't feel like it. which I feel like I've said that a few times by now, right? Is that since I keep saying I don't know these games very well, that would be one solution, right? It's just I start looking up some stuff. Like I really don't want to do it, while I'm recording. But on top of that, I think it's probably better for Tristan and Michael's entertainment that I do not look these things up and I just keep on trucking. And if that means that I'm gonna waste some time and not be super efficient with my 30 minutes, then it's so be it, kind of thing. I don't think any of us are demanding each other to be max efficiency or anything, so I'd imagine no one will care. That burn damage is racking up. But yeah, the Shaman just does so much damage. It's like the burn just does so much damage in this gen. That's what it feels like. But yeah, I think realistically, the Shaman and Genesect are so much more threatening than you would like for a training spot. However, we're at a point where we're so many levels above that it shouldn't be a big issue. But I think what's it called? It's we're definitely not pursuing things that it should be safe by now. Basically, as part of in this part of the game, we always will never die even to the crits. But as you see, if it's crit burn, then it's does do a lot of damage still, even though we're at 15. Let's say, yeah, I feel 15 levels ahead, so. But in any case, what was that? Was the thing I started talking about, right? Was that the only way I'm wasting all this time is that if the evolution method is impossible or something. But what I'm assuming is that it gets ancient power just at a certain level that I don't know what that level is. So we didn't have to relearn anything. It was just I need to get to a whatever level. So I'm pretty confident in that at this point, since we took a look at Move Relearner, and thankfully we are in a spot that we have access to a Move Relearner whenever we want, and we have the infinite heart scales to be able to do so, which is nice. I don't know what Manoli is, but yeah. Well, hopefully we learn Manoli's name and we get to keep using it for a while, and it's a valuable member to the team. Or more likely, it gets hit by a rock move and just dies that we didn't expect. But who's to say which will happen, right? I'm not the one that knows this information. Only God knows, and well, we haven't caught Arceus yet, so we can't ask. let's see. Also, I don't know if we've progressed further along from what was it? Lentimus town, city, town. I think it's town. It's pretty small. Since that was like where I backtracked to over here the last time that I had this and just trained, right? So I'm gonna do that again. Obviously, Michael was nice enough to backtrack for, I assume, encounters purposes, and so we were already here, so it made it very easy, which is nice. And obviously, I guess I don't have to ask Tristan and Michael their opinions on using a dead mon to fly around, because obviously Mavis was in the party, so I already know Michael's answer to that. Because I think I posed it not as a question, but just as a thought, I believe, the last time. Because then I decided to just to not do it and then traverse all the way back. So that's one that, you know, it's a personal preference, I guess, right? I don't know that there's necessarily a right or wrong or a consensus thing. It's just up to you. So, which I'll reiterate, the way I saw it is that I'm fine using dead mons for like necessary HMs, but not for like unnecessary ones. So like if you literally have no mons in your party that can learn surf, right, and nothing in your box, then yeah, you gotta use dead mon, right, because you have to get across the water to progress the game, kind of thing. Or like strength boulders when you're in a like Victory Road situation, stuff like that. Is what I think of. But, like I see the flying as more of a luxury thing. So using a dead mon is cruel in my mind. We're just on a dead body, you know? Like, come on. Oh, okay, there's ancient power. So we did get to there. I don't think we're clicking detect. I probably should have kept detect for double battles, honestly. But realistically, I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna either me or someone else, I guess, because I don't know if I'll even touch the moveset. Since I'm just grinding and I'm not even like fighting with it. Someone will look through the TMs and just give it a better moveset, right? So if that's the case, then the tech probably was not surviving anyway. But since this game does have rotations and triple battles in addition to some double battles sprinkled throughout, right? It's definitely something to consider. So, got the evolution of Manoli, which is great. We still need to train it up, so that's the intent, and that's all we're gonna do. I'm almost. What item is on here? I was like, I was thinking about putting the flame plate on here. No, it already is extra pump. Just to be able to like one-shot this more consistently, but who knows? Maybe with the level, it'll happen more organically instead. It already has an expert build, so I don't know that I'm gonna get to that damage threshold currently. But yeah, grinding's gonna be a lot harder now without the XP share. Obviously, we had a lucky egg as well that we don't have anymore either, so it's just part of the run, unfortunately. You know, that's why, at least for grinding, I always want to take off or the EXP share mod, because I think I'm the one that we had infinite EXP shares last time, but I did lose mons with the XP share in the last run. But again, granted, we had we could buy some, and so we had an unlimited amount of them. But like losing a lucky egg mon while grinding sucks, right? Because it's like that's the whole point. But if you lose it outside of grinding, then it's like, okay, that could have been avoided, kind of thing. So at this point, I don't know how Boost died, actually. I have yet to see it in my watchings, so, which said Boost has the lucky egg. And then I know Tristan keeps putting the EXP share on, or kept putting the EXP share on to Fungi, even though we weren't like at a stage of grinding. Like in my head, you use the EXP share as a grinding tool only, right? And so, you know, same with the lucky egg. So I'm guessing, you know, that's not a shared sentiment.
Hi, I'm
Based
accident
off
attorney
of what
Kevin
I've
Crockett. If you've been injured in an accident, you have a lot of questions.
Based off of what I've already seen, and then, you know, I'll get confirmation later of how each of them die. But in my mind, that's how you avoid losing those, right? Is that if you keep them only in grinding situations, then you're never gonna lose them, barring a disaster in the grinding. But then that puts into question, right? Are you grinding in a easy enough place to do it, right? Which I ran into that issue. I think it was twice that I lost mons grinding, because I was like I was getting impatient, and I was like, well, I could play it extra safe, or I could, you know, I assume that it's fine, or that something was fine and could handle its own, and it didn't work out, and it happened 2 different times that I can remember off the top of my head. So maybe it even happened more if I'm remembering incorrectly. So I think maybe because of that, I'm extra conscientious of it. Whereas I don't know that anyone lost as much grinding as I did. Obviously, I was grinding a lot more in the last one, but even so, I think that's still something that's front of mind for me. That maybe it's not front of mind for them, right? I think that's which, as I just said, it makes sense that it might not be, right? Because I think I was the most. I mean, I did the most grinding, and thus I was also the one who lost the most mons grinding, again, if I'm remembering correctly. So I guess it makes perfect sense for me to be the one to think of it more than anyone else would. But in any case, it looks like we're about done. I mean, I'll heal and I'll run. I'll see if I can get there, but I don't expect to be able to. So looks like we'll just be in here then. Which I'm perfectly okay with. We can just end it right here. I will save. And I will save. And yeah, so I mean, I think good progress on the on getting Yanma levels to grow into a Yanmega. So hopefully that's useful, and we'll see if Tristan decides it's worth still grinding more or trying to truck on forward. But not my problem, so hopefully that goes well.